Hello everybody and welcome to another round of the Speed Force Racing Season 5 Premier Division GP1 today in Japan for round 16. Before we go and do anything else, we're going through the Speed Force, the Drivers' Championship, to say better. Medium Pilot is still the leader of the championship with only 4 points ahead of the McLaren driver P. Wouters. P3 is for it's Nolan, P4 is for Gio, P5 is for Sam, P6 is for Nicomania, P7 is James Brabham, P8 is Midnight, P9 is Raikkonen, P10 is Verstappen, P11 is Bundy, P12 is Bullet Boy, P13 is Honey Badger, P14 is Chain Game, P15 is Fodio, P16 is Ali, P17 is Ghazi, P18 is Vin, P19 is Big Virgil, and last but not least is Nexus G Morris. Now we go into the Constructor Championship where McLaren is leading with around 18 points ahead of Williams. P3 is Haas, P4 is Mercedes, P5 is Red Bull Honda, P6 is Alfa Romeo, P7 is Racing Point, P8 is Renault, P9 is Ferrari, and last of the constructors are Toro Rosso Honda. I'm all alone tonight. I have a very good co-commentator with me. That's Felix. How are you doing, mate?
Hello, I'm very well. How are you?
I'm good too, thanks for asking. What do you expect from tonight?
I expect some fast times. Will be interesting to compare the Premier drivers to the rest of the SFR boys and girls. Maybe, I don't know.
I don't think there are any girls competing.
There was one.
Think so.
There was one before, but I think she left.
I think so.
Yeah. Anyway, should be a good race. Japan is a fun circuit, or Suzuka's a fun circuit.
It is really fun. Most of the people are looking forward to this race. Personally, I didn't look forward to it, and I didn't have to drive on Monday because there were technically issues with the game. So for people that don't know it, the GP4 race will be raced at the end of the season, so it won't be doesn't counting or something, but it will be raced at the end of the season. How did your race went, mate?
It went all right. I had a shot at P3 there for a while, chasing one of the Renault boys, and then I made a tiny error in the S's and I spun.
Because
and I
that
finished.
is what Japan is all about. If you made a little mistake, go a little bit on the curbs, your car is gone.
Yeah.
And that is the
just
difficulty of
took
Japan.
too much curb and going into one of the S's and then spun around, finished P7. So still okay, I guess.
I think Sector 1 is one of the most difficult sectors of the whole season of Formula 1.
But when you get it right,
You can take so much time and advantage of the other drivers.
and it's so satisfying as well.
It is. If you can set like a purple Sector 1, you really think, oh, okay, I have a good chance of doing well this race.
Yeah.
And of course we can't go past the unbelievably close fight still at the top of the championship. P. Wouters chasing Medium Pilot with only 4 points behind. What do you expect from them today?
I expect them to go hammer and tongue against each other on the track. Because I'm quite old and a bit tired today, I don't really remember what happened last time out.
Last time it was a very close race with 2 safety cars in
Oh yeah,
Sochi.
that's right, yeah.
And Medium Pilot almost winning it from P5 with penalties. But it was Sam then that hold up Medium Pilot, and that's the reason why P. Wouters won the last race. So that was a very good race.
Yeah, it was a great race. Especially for being in Russia, since it's
Indeed.
a shit track.
Hopefully we can get more of it today.
Yeah. Japan is quite hard to overtake here.
It is hard to overtake. I think the best chance is the Sector 3 beginning, so the last corner. Because in
the final
first
chicane,
yeah, the final chicane. First straight, it is a little bit difficult to really get closer. Like if you don't have the same ERS or you have more downforce, it's not that easy to get closer.
No.
And I think that's
No.
at the most tracks of the end of the season. I think in the beginning of the season it's quite easy to overtake other cars, but the tracks at the end of the season are a lot more difficult.
Yeah, agreed. You can actually overtake into the hairpin if you get a good exit out of Degner 2
Can
and get a
do
good
that,
run.
but it's just like it's like in the first corner, it is very dangerous. Like in the first corner,
Yeah.
it's a corner where you don't have to brake immediately. You can let the car go a little bit, and I think is the possibility that we see some crashes there tonight.
Yeah, we'll see. Looking forward.
Maybe we're gonna see some rain too. That will be very excited if that happens, because it is a difficult track, Japan. But it is
Yes,
as dry as yeah, as
that's something.
dry weather. It is dry. That's what I was going to say. So we have 18 minutes of qualifying. Who will be the first one to leave the pit and try to set the fastest time? A time where the other drivers can search and aim for that time. We're seeing most of the drivers
see
at the
movement.
soft at the moment, and it is a racing
Force
point.
India.
The 2 racing points. So Gasly is the second one. So the first one is
Did I just say Force India?
You did say Force India, but it's
I'm
alright.
very
Even
sorry.
Kimi makes mistakes.
Yeah. But Kimi is allowed to make mistakes.
Kimi is allowed to do everything, I think.
He's also 40 years old, so he's quite old.
Yeah, it's crazy that Kimi still drives Formula 1. And
Yeah,
that
pretty
good
crazy
at
actually.
it.
Yeah.
So
So we
we're
have Chris
seeing-
Kahn on his outlap. He is actually a GP3 driver, as far
He
as
is.
I know.
So what can he show today? Because also next season is coming quite fast, and everyone has the chance now to take a look and aim for a higher division or stay in the division. And this is a good chance for him to show what he can do in that division of Speed World Racing.
Yeah.
Maybe we don't need to see the best, but the highest division. Because the other division, of course, have also fantastic drivers.
Yeah, we do. But even the quickest drivers from GP3 didn't fare very well in Premier.
It is.
They did their best, obviously, but yeah, they didn't quite have the pace, unfortunately.
At the moment, we're seeing 15 cars aiming for the softs, and we're seeing Storm, Bullet Boy, and Ryan on the hards at this moment. Liam Pilot is out on the mediums. We saw it last week. He sometimes go out on harder tire, then look what his opponents do, like what P. Walters do. Then he goes in to change his tire. So that could possibly be again today.
Yeah.
Following Chris Gain first on track. That gonna set a time. He goes at 33.0 in the first section, in the first sector.
Gasly is backed off his lap, so he's made a mistake, I'm guessing.
Now having yellow in sector 1 and 2, possibly for cars that are slowing down. But it is Chris that's gonna set the first time at this section. What do you expect about the times? Think we can go into the 129s or even lower?
I'm guessing we'll be in the 27s, to be honest. Maybe even 26s.
Oh. I don't really have a good thought of what they can do. Oh, it's the Ferrari of Big Virgil. He has to watch out because Chris Kens now at the final chicane. He's gonna set the first time of today. It will be a 1:30.9. So we're
That's
gonna see.
pretty okay.
I think that's okay. So we're gonna see what that brings them. Then I'm going to look to medium pilot who is setting a time on the mediums. What time can he set? That would be a better time on the mediums. That would be a very good time. It would be a 1:28.4 on the medium tire. Wow.
Here comes Gio through the final chicane on the soft
Gio
tire.
on the soft tires, so he has to go faster. I don't think he... Yes, he will. A 1:28.1. While Bullet Boy goes fourth on the hards with a 1:37.4. I think that...
So
that
the 27s aren't looking very far off.
No, they don't. It's not like the other races where medium pilot just looks around for the first couple of laps, but he sets a time at his first attempt now. So I think he is trying to do another strategy than the other drivers.
Yeah, maybe.
Now looking
Not a bad
P-Routers
thing to start on the
second.
mediums, actually.
It isn't bad because
the
you can
opposite,
do
the
soft
reverse.
mediums, but you also can do medium hards because it isn't. I think it's around 5 seconds that it is slower. But if you go to soft mediums, you really have to save your tires. While Gio goes fastest. Oh no, that's already done. I'm very sorry. I'm a little bit confused.
P-Waters P2.
P-Waters goes P2 with a 1:28.2. It's around 1/10 slower than Gio. Maybe Gio can take a good advantage today.
Yeah.
Try to still take P3 in the championship. So we have.
Yeah, I don't know. I think medium hard is bit too slow, maybe.
It can be a bit too slow. It really can be.
Because it's quite an easy soft to medium strategy, or medium to soft if you're into that kind of thing.
I think Zach is the only one at the moment who is doing a timed lap, but he isn't going that fast, I think. No, he is going into the pit. So at the moment,
Ryan Van Doom
out lap.
on a lap.
Ryan is on a lap then, on the hard tire still. But he is going 1/10 slower in sector 2. In sector 2, sorry. So he needs to up the pace then. Now he's going 6.6 seconds faster. So that possibly can get him an okay time on the hard set of tires. What can he achieve?
Oh,
The hard
pits.
oh, he goes into the pit, so he won't finish his lap.
Yeah, that makes sense. I would have done the same thing, to be honest.
Finn now the one that's going through towards the finish line, but I think no, he is going to finish a lap. He's also on the hard tires. He's doing a 1:31.4.
We have Midnight starting a lap just now.
Midnight is still in the third place of the championship, but he didn't show the last few races the best of him, I think. He did okay in all the races, but I don't think he was able to give it everything.
He has an interesting approach to his gears and
yeah,
he
stayed
there.
a very
He
long
stayed in
time
fifth
the same
gear. To the first part, which was interesting.
We're gonna see if that brings him a good time, because that's possible. If you do something else here, you don't have to do always the same thing to be even faster. You can do your own thing and try to do it.
Yeah, for sure.
But of course, there are a few suggested gears and stuff and things. But we're gonna see if Midnight maybe has the better idea of them. His second sector is a 1:11.4. I don't have really an idea what the other guys did. So we're
Can
gonna
we
see
maybe
it now.
see a 27 here?
I think that's possible. 1:22
Looks
to
quick.
the last chicane. What can he do? I don't think it will be. It will be a 27. It is a 27.9. 2 times faster than Gio. That's a very good look from Midnight, and I think
Yeah,
he showed
very
his
well
best now.
Yeah, I think he's back on form. Whoops, he's crashed!
Midnight retired.
He's crashed with
my God,
Gasly.
what did he do?
Oh, he ran into the back of Gasly, and Gasly has a penalty. 5-place grid penalty.
Oh my
Midnight is going to
God,
be
what happened
absolutely
there?
fuming about that. But
Was
to be
Midnight
fair,
doing 2 laps after each other then?
no, he wasn't. No, he
Why?
backed off. He backed off to let someone through, but Gasly backed off even more.
Even for him, yeah. So they both backed off
straight
for
ahead
each
of him,
other.
and so he kind of ran into the back of him.
So that are chances of Midnight
yeah,
beating his own
let's
time.
see how
ruined.
how his time stands throughout
Hopefully
throughout
for
the
him it will
session.
stay then.
Let's see what Gilles can do on his second flying lap. Oh, that's not good. He touched the inside curb on in the hairpin. You don't want to do that because you lose the back end.
You do lose a lot of time then. I'm looking now to Chris Ken, who is on a
Medium pilot, 27.3.
Wow. Behave yourself.
Yeah, something like that.
We can
Jesus.
possibly go into the 126 at this amount of racing. What the hell? 127.3 for medium pilot.
Oh God. Oh, okay. Never mind. They sorted it out.
Oh, it is so busy at the end of the track. Everybody
Ooh.
doing the right thing. Kreska now is gonna put in a faster lap than his first one. Puts him at the P9, 129.7.
Gilles only improves by less than a tenth.
It's not good enough from Gilles then.
So he's still seven tenths behind medium pilot. Also still behind Midnight. Now we have P. Waters on a lap.
What can
going through the Estes.
Still a championship contender, of course. Only 4 points behind medium pilot. But we saw it in Russia. Medium pilot had a huge amount of a lap in qualifying, but he hadn't the pace then into the race because he did another strategy. Because what I was still thinking of, what did he do?
Yeah.
But what can Pirautos do in qualifying now? Because it isn't such a long straight to begin, so qualifying position is really important at this track.
Yeah, it's also difficult to overtake, like we said before, so starting position is key here.
Pirautos,
see what he does through the second sector split, sorry.
He needs to improve around a second, and that's a lot of time.
Yeah.
What is he doing now in sector? He is going
6
tenths faster, so that means he has to go around 4 tenths in the last sector. Will be a difficult one, but if there's someone who can fight medium pilot, it is Pirautos.
He's so smooth though.
Said, it will be a 127, it will be 127.5.
That's a good lap.
A little 4 tenths slower, while Zockhart is going 3rd fastest. That's a very good lap of him then.
Yeah, well done.
Very well
I
done.
don't know
to
who he is, I've never seen him before.
Me too, but a very good time, mate. Still 4 drivers who didn't set a time yet. That's Big Virgil, James, Sam and Raikkonen. Who is on a time lap at the moment? I think Bullet Boy is.
Ryan Van Doom, yes.
6. Where is Ryan at the moment on track?
His final chicane.
Final chicane, so he's on a medium
There
tire, doing around 7 seconds faster. He does a 130.2 on the mediums. That's not good enough, is it? Bullet isn't doing the fastest lap at the moment, just like Jake and Gasly. So I don't think they will finish their lap.
Still have 4 drivers that hasn't set a time.
That's a lot, but it also could possibly that they went out for a fast lap, but went a little too wide at some point, while Storm loses his back end of the car because he hits the inside of the curb, and you don't want to do it in sector 1 because you lose it all then. So that's a up for him, while Big Virgil goes out of the pits. And people go out on the pits now, there will be the last chance to put in a lap. So
yes.
Sam will be starting at the mediums if he sets the time. But I think
he will be starting on the
hoping
mediums in the top 10, yes.
he will be. Of course, if he doesn't set a time or doesn't beat 129.7 at the moment, he will be having a free tire choice. And Raikkonen still in the pits. Didn't set a time lap. Didn't set a time yet.
Maybe he has a qualifying ban, not sure.
That's possible. I don't know about penalties or qualifying bans and that stuff. Medium pilot now going for his last time lap. What can the championship leader do? Can he still improve his lap? If he can improve his lap, I think he has pole position. Because it is already
I think he has pole position already, mate.
Yeah, that's possible too. It's around 4/10 that he is faster at the moment than P. Wouters. And that is his closest championship contender, so...
Medium pilot also stays in 5th gear and then goes down to 4th.
Yeah, I don't think... He went a little bit too...
Oh, 3rd? What the hell?
Yeah, he is doing some crazy stuff and yeah, almost lost it, so... He won't be he can still save it now. Save ERS, save his tires. And still can do another lap.
Do you think he's trying to get back to the pits to put on a new set of tires?
I think that's too late. I think if he wants to set
it's for sure
another
it's too late,
time, he has to do it in this. Maybe.
Because he's still pushing.
No, it's impossible, I think, to still set another time on new tires. He has to do it in a minute and go out on 1 minute then. And
yeah,
I think we both know
work.
how long it takes sometimes to get the crew, get your car and choose other tires.
Yeah, for sure.
P. Walter is still in the pits, waiting. Try and take pole position, while Zach is already on his out lap.
Oh, he's
So
cut
have
the
to look
chicane there,
into some
medium pilot.
Other drivers.
Huh.
You can keep an eye on medium pilot, what he does.
Yeah, I
Another
just
lap
did.
or
That
in
wasn't.
the pit.
Yeah. He cut the chicane to get to the pits quicker, and then he sped into the pits as well.
Oh. So that maybe
Now
will
we'll
be
try to get
revealed
back
then.
out. I'll tell you right now, he's not going to make it around.
Yeah, I think it will be very close.
It's not possible. I tried it on Tuesday, and it's not possible.
Yeah.
I left
Or
the
he
pit.
has to cut the corners again, then it's possible.
Yeah.
Of course.
So he needs to. He should have been leaving the pits about 20 seconds ago.
Yeah. Now looking to Zach, who is doing 2/10 of his lap. That's a good sector 1. What should it be if the new guy can take sport position? That should be amazing.
He's backed off.
Yeah, he did. Maybe he had got a
I think he
corner
cut.
then.
Maybe he cut the corner.
Yeah. The medium pilot doesn't go out again, so this will be
Sam
the
now,
time.
Sam now in the top 10 on the mediums.
He is on the mediums, and is he doing another time lap at the moment?
No.
I don't think so.
Vin in P12, also on the mediums. 1:30.0 at this point. Trying to improve for one final time here.
What can he do? The Williams driver has a difficult corner, I think.
Doom corner is quite
It is
difficult,
such
yeah.
a difficult corner too. It is so. If you hit the curves, you spin around. If you go too fast, you have a lap invalidated. He is improving his lap, so maybe he can go into the top 10. I think he's of course trying to do that. Vin with the first one to cross the line at this moment. He will go at 28.5,
Ooh,
puts him in
very
9th
nice.
position. That's a good lap from him. Now P. Wouters is doing his final lap, his final attempt to close in around 4/10 on medium pilot and take pole position. I don't think it is possible. But if he does it, it will be amazing. His first sector is a little bit faster, not that much, so it has to come from sector 2 and sector 3 then. Sector 2 is so big if you compare it to sector 3.
Yeah. Sector 3 is very short. It's literally 130R in the chicane and then you're done.
Gio at the moment in P5, he is going to finish before P. Wouters. Can he still improve his position? maybe go in front of the medium pilot at the moment. What time can he set? Will be a 1. Oh, he crashed! Oh, he tried to get to the line as soon as possible, and I think there will be yellow flags then, so P Rotors won't be taking pole. Yeah, there are yellow flags, so he can't improve his time.
He will anyway, but it's not enough on pole.
Improve it, but it's not enough on pole. But Gio was improving his time, tried to get it as soon as possible, but he crashed out. And that's the end of the session then. Everyone finished. 3 drivers without a time, Big Virgil, James, and another one. But we're going to the laps as soon as we get it on screen. That was a bit of a strange ending of the qualifying.
Yeah.
So the qualifying will be medium pilot starting on pole position, P Rotors in P2, Zakhard in P3, Midnight P4, GLP5, Bullet Boy P6, Chain Game P7, Gasly P8, but will be starting from P13 as he had to get a 5 grid penalty, Vin P9, Storm P10, Ferdio P11, Sam P12, Chris P13, Ryan P14, and Big Virgil, James and Raikkonen didn't set a time. That was a strange ending of the qualifying.
Yeah, very, very strange.
Gio crashing his car just before improving his lap. And P Rotors still improving it, so in the real Formula 1 that will be a 3 place penalty, sorry.
Yeah.
Because he improved his time, but of course it can be that he backed off in the last sector. We don't have the information on that. And what
we don't have the telemetry.
I think it's gonna be a dry race from the whole time.
Yes, the information I have in the chat is that's all dry.
So we won't get rain involved in this race on Japan. But will we have again a fight with medium pilot and P Rotors starting from P1 and P2?
Yeah, should be an interesting run down to turn 2.
I'm now
turn
looking
1,
to
I
the
mean,
chat
sorry.
while Lee gets another hit on you.
Yeah, I've seen it. I chose not to comment.
I understand that. And James said he spun on both laps, so that will be why he didn't set a time. We are on the formation lap, the only lap before the real race here in Japan.
Let's do this thing.
Let's do this thing. That's what I was hoping to hear from you. Still awake?
I need a coffee, man.
I was going to say I'll jump in a car and bring it to you, but I think that's a little bit too far.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
I think that's a little bit too far.
Not sure where you live, but
in Belgium,
probably
so.
like 1,200 kilometers, probably.
I think that is. It can be even more. I don't know where you live in England, so yeah. Medium pilot again on pole position. I think that's the 3rd or 4th time in a row he takes pole. That's very impressive of the Williams.
Yeah, for sure.
But we saw the few races before, Sam and Rotors was very close to each other. Now Sam is in P11, so he won't be affecting the race of P Rotors that much this time. Should that be a problem maybe? Because of course we saw last race that it was due to an immense amount of racing that P Rotors won it. Because Sam hold up medium pilot.
Yeah.
So that possibly can affect the team strategy of McLaren. While Vin is in P8, the teammate of medium pilot. Who you will be watching from the start?
I'll be watching medium pilot's teammate. I want to be in the middle.
In the middle of the pack.
P8, P9 somewhere.
Hopefully a start without that much of trouble, without crashing. Because it is a very difficult first corner.
It is, yeah.
The cars are now lining up to start this 27 laps of Japan. I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, me too. Gonna be a good race, I think.
It is gonna be a good race. Now
Here we go.
Raikkonen is the last one to slot in. And when he gets on his P17, we're going to watch the medium pilot for this race start here at Japan. We have the green flag waving. We have the right lights on. And the lights are out and we are on our way here in Japan. It's a very good start from medium pilot. Is also having a good start. Zuckout in P3. Not that much.
Oh, contact at the back.
There's a contact in the back.
There's
And I see someone. I see a Haas spun around.
Oh, it's Gio. It's Gio.
It is Gio. It's impossible. Always it is Gio.
Oh, it's more crashing.
Speed Force racing.
Oh, there's a Ferrari.
They're going very slow.
Oh, there's a Mercedes
Ryan
off.
Van Doorn, and he was off. Ryan Van Doorn crashed the first lap, and there's contact between James and no. I saw someone going into the barriers. I don't know who that was, but it also can be a glitch, of course, because yeah, it's still F1 game. But we have still medium pilot leading from P. Rogers and Zakar, Bennett in P4 and Billboard P5, so nothing changed in the top 5.
Looks like Gio has got away with no damage on his car.
That's luckily for him then, but of course he's now in P13, so that's, I won't say race over for him, but well,
oh, Midnight gets past Sackert, who makes a mistake.
Sackert made a little mistake at the exit of the corner. This is one of the best places to try and overtake. Pirata's 3/10 now of medium pilot. Will be already trying this first lap to go and try to take on medium pilot to take the lead. Medium pilot who sets the 132.0 at his first lap.
Do we have top 3 in the championship and the top 3 positions right now? We have that, right?
Yeah, it is. It is just
in the
like
correct order as well. Yeah.
That's crazy. The closest battle at this moment, I think it's Chris on Gio. But there's nothing really close at the moment. Sam is going.
Yeah, I'm not sure that it's going to be a battle. Anyway.
Behind Fodio. No, I think Gio will get away there quite soon because he is, of course, he has more pace than the guys behind him.
So Gasly had a bit of a mare at the first corner. He went flying a bit for some reason. And Gio got spun around by someone and didn't actually see it. I just saw him stationary.
Again, it will be a very long night for the stewards, I think.
Yeah, for sure. And then James Braden had contact with Big Virgil. Oh, there's contact! Someone's out! Gasly's out!
Gasly is out. I don't know what happened there, but I think there was contact.
Yeah, there might have been contact with his teammate actually.
Well, James has a lot of damage.
Yeah, he has. He needs to pit, I think. Anyway, Big Virgil made contact with James Braden. And then Ryan Van Doom just lost back.
Almost hitting the same place as Gio crashed in qualifying, but now P1 is only 2/10 away from medium pilot, but medium pilot is faster at the straight. Now DRS has been enabled for this lap and for the rest of the race. 3/10.
You have to wait until the start of lap 4 to activate DRS.
He does have to wait indeed to lap 4.
Since we only have one DRS sign.
And the fight in the middle of the pack is so close again. Everyone within 5/10 of each other. For the only 1/10 behind Finn. They're all taking so wide and going so fast. Really going to try and take the fastest way possible. While Fordio did try to go in front of him. That was a little bit too far away from him. Where Chris Can is in the pits, I think. No, he isn't. Did no one pit?
No.
Yes, I thought, yeah, James has a lot of damage because he is going very wide. He also gets a penalty now.
But he doesn't have damage.
Maybe he is just very struggling then, because he also said that and he also did set a valid time. Now, P-Routers with DRS activated behind medium pilot, but I think that's 4 tenths is too far away, I think.
Yeah. Like we said at the beginning there. Sorry.
No problem.
The best chance of an overtake you have is after 130R.
It is. While Storm gets in 2 tenths now behind the Ferrari of Chain Game.
Midnight is having some trouble keeping up with the boys in P1 and P2.
He did, but I think that was most of all Zach in lap 1 let a gap. Maybe he didn't realize the start was so heavy and maybe he lost some time because he was also very wide at the corner while Midnight got in front of him while we have yellow in. Oh, and that's Virgil.
Oh, James Braden's out.
Yeah, Virgil and Beck and James crashed into each
Oh,
other.
both of them. Oh, okay.
I don't saw it very well, but I saw it a little bit from the car of Chris, but they both crashed into each other, I think. And that's not good. Well, Gio now in P12 trying to overtake Raikkonen. Hopefully that goes well, and it does.
Oh, a bit of wheel banging going on between Sam and Focho, yeah?
Yeah, indeed. Because Fighter Motors at the back of the grid. Already 4 DNFs at this race. In lap 4, that's going fast. Going very fast. And P-Routers now having a little difficult to keep up with the pace of Medium Pilot, who sets a new fastest time. Storm 110 behind the Chain Game. He's gonna try to overtake him. Desiree Renault gets past the floor. Oh, that's very good defending from Chain Game. Braking very late. Very good move from him.
Are you proud of your countryman?
Is Chain Game from Belgium?
Oh no, sorry. No, it's not. Never mind.
I was thinking already. Did I miss something special? But it's no problem. We had Rusland for Williams in the beginning, but I didn't see him true racing each other, so I don't know what happened with him. Maybe he doesn't have time or doesn't have the pace to stay.
Ooh, Gio trying to make a move around the outside of the hairpin approach. I can't quite
Gio
make it work.
trouble with going into the front again. And that's not because of his driving style or his car or whatever, but it is just Japan.
Be smart, man,
Oh,
Focho loses like that. Oh my god, that could have been an airplane
He was defending
crash.
too hard. But it was very good reacting from Gio, who saw it immediately.
Yeah.
And he did go wide. Vin now, very close to Storm.
Oh, he had to back off.
Yeah, he had to.
Such a shame he had to run. He had to let off the throttle to 130R to not run into the back of Storm. Let's see if he can get him with DRS, it's quite close.
Seems like P1 is very close to Medium Pilot, but that's already behind the straight. Well, Vin now gets in front of Storm.
Flies past.
Yeah, that was very fast, because he, when I looked to it, he was already 2 tenths in front of him. And Midnight is again in P4, so I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, Sacker got past him through turn 1-2.
Oh. Don't know why it is, but it seems like GP1 has more difficult to get past each other.
Yeah, but that's because they're so evenly matched on pace.
It is. All of the drivers are so close to each other. Up to the timings, it's only the biggest difference in times is now 3.6 seconds between P5 and P6. That's so close. At the moment, there isn't really a very close battle there now. Sam gets a 3-second time penalty at the moment, while he is defending from Gio.
Yeah, it's quite close between Vin, Storm, Sam and Gio. Raikkonen is quite close behind as well. But they're kind of in a sort of a gridlock or something.
Yeah, they are. They're all getting the slipstream and DRS from each other. So that's a difficulty from passing them. Maybe now Gio gets a better exit. They're all trying to overtake each other and they're all trying to defend from the car behind. and that's making it that no one really gets an advantage of someone. Now Sam is going very close to the Renault Storm. He has to watch out that he doesn't go too close in that first sector because he can lose his car so fast.
We got a great run out of Dunlop corner. See if he can make a
has
move into... No, he's not making a move into Degner 1.
Well, Gilles was very close on Sam. 3/10 it is now. And Pirot is still at 5/10 of medium pilot. So he can really make a difference between them. Gilles now very close to Sam, but Sam gets also slipstream of Storm. They're both trying to overtake the car in front of him. Sam goes very well.
Oh, and Gilles goes, thank you very much.
Gilles thinks, okay, you're both going right, then I take the position. And Storm lost 2 position then at 1 corner. Not a great thing for Storm then. While also Raikkonen goes in front of Storm now. I don't know how he did that corner so fast, but that was unbelievable.
You can get a mega run through 130R, even though it's flat.
And Zach gets a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That will ruin his chances on the podium, I think. He's going on to the medium tires, if I'm seeing it right. No, he is on the hard tires, so he will go to the end of the race.
Water's still very close to the medium pilot.
It is, but he doesn't really shows that he can really make a move on medium pilot, but it has to be so difficult to stay ahead from medium pilot just because the pressure, still having someone with DRS at your back under the 1 second, it has to be so difficult for him. Just like it has to be very difficult for P. Walters, who really can't go that close enough to medium pilot to try and overtake him. While Gilles gets now very close to Sam again. They're still fighting each other. You should say that the medium tires of Sam now should get the advantage of the 7 laps old soft.
Yeah, they should. Bullet Boy is in a good position. Although he's quite far behind the leaders, but he's in decent position anyway.
We'll have to look at then with the 5-second penalty of car, of course, when they all pitted. It seems like Stockard pitted quite early.
Yeah, I'm not sure why he would go onto the hard tires.
The pilot is in the bias.
Oh no!
Crashed in corner 1.
Oh, he's lost his front wing.
Unbelievable. He lost almost his whole front wing at the right side. Doesn't have anything left on it. What happened with medium pilot in that first corner?
Was there contact, you think?
I don't think. Piors was still 4/10 behind him, so I don't think it will be contact, but maybe it was the pressure, I think. Just going a little
Very
bit too
rare
fast.
mistake from medium pilot there.
But this can ruin his championships chances.
Yes, because right now he'll lose the lead.
Chingham trying to go around the outside, that won't be possible. Well, Stockard gets another 3-second time penalty. Stockard is doing a great job with ruining his own race. While Chain Game is really trying to get... Oh, that's very well done.
There he goes.
That's
well done.
A great move of Chain Game. But this is very bad luck for medium pilot. And what will P. Walters do now?
Sam gets past Vin as well.
And Sam is now also passing medium pilot. And his teammate also, oh, this is very bad. And now Gilles is in front again of medium pilot.
I think we'll see medium pilot going into the pits. Yes, we will.
And Gilles is going too. So that maybe will get an interesting thing in the pit lane. But I don't think it will. But Gilles had also damage.
Sam got past Chain Game as well. He's up to P3.
Sam is
Bullet
doing
Boy in
very well
P2.
on his other strategy, of course.
Who else is in the pits? What happened here?
Pilot.
Midnight. What happened to Midnight? Did he pit?
I
Oh, he
think
pitted. Sorry. Yeah, he
Yeah,
pitted.
he did. I didn't thought Midnight was going to be behind Zocco, but of course Zocco already has 8-second time penalty.
Yeah.
But this can be all a pleasure of P. Wouters if Zocco holds up everyone behind.
Yeah, I
Gio
think P.
holds on.
Waters has a bit of a German smile on at the moment.
I think he has, but it's still very difficult now. Bullet Boy is 7.5 seconds behind. When he is going to pit, is he going to do a very long stint on this soft tires, what he can possibly do, then going on very good medium tires, or is he going to pit now and stay in front of all the rest? I think he is still going. 10 lap old soft tires now. I think their best time is already gone now.
Yeah, but I think I honestly think that he's better off staying out, doing his own strategy.
Midnight now in front of Zocco, sorry to interrupt you.
Oh yeah, go past him and oh.
But Zocco now has another chance with DRS to pass him. This will be an interesting battle. The Toro Rosso and the Alfa Romeo. And Zocco has his place back.
Good little ding-dong battle between the two of them.
It is. And a very good way to introduce himself into SFR. Don't know if he maybe drives into lower divisions yet, but this is the first time I see him.
Yeah.
He is doing very well. He has a very good pace, I think. And what will be in the head of medium pilot now at the moment?
Oh, he's in P13
Well,
as well. Oh, Chris Can is out.
Sector 1. Chris Can has crashed, I think. Or he just retired in the pit lane, that's also a possibility. Don't know what happened with the Force India, but both Force India now has retired, so that's a bad day for him.
Yeah.
And we have P. Wouters in the pit lane now, 11 laps on his soft tires, so we're enough. He will go into the medium tires. A good pit stop. And where will he be? Will be behind his teammate Sam. And where will Sam be when he pitted? He is on the other strategy, of course. He's going through the medium first, then going into the soft tire. P. Wouters gets in front of Zocco and Midnight. So that's good for him. There's already 4 seconds. So I think that's a good move from P. Wouters. I think he did the right choice for when he pitted. Well, Frodio's not pitting, well, medium pilot gets in front of him.
I think in all of this, when everybody pits, Gio will be P4.
It is possible. Because Bullet Boy Sam, Vin, Raikkonen are all on their beginning tire, so they have to pit at least once. So then he will be in P4, I think. Or it has to be that he just get behind Bullet Boy in time. I think there will be a close one. It's around a little 20 seconds, so I think he will be in front of him. I don't know what's the time to pit this in Japan. I think it's around 25 seconds. Well, medium pilot
just got past Storm, and then he lost the back end out of the hairpin and had to give back.
That's a very difficult race at the moment.
Yeah.
Did take pole position with a lot of time in front of his contender P. Wouters, and Zoc gets another 5-second penalty. So he is doing a great job on penalty wise.
Yeah. Mate, I'll be right back. Sorry.
Okay, no problem, mate. I'm going to do it alone then for a minute while Midnight tries to overtake Zach now. Zach gets a lot of penalties, so either way Midnight will be in front of him at the end of the race. But I think Midnight will try and take still try and take P. Wouters. Maybe he will go for the race win tonight. Midnight is now stuck behind Zocco. Zockout was doing really well in his first race on SFR. Only the penalties, that's to blame for him, so that will ruin his race and his result. At the front, it's also close now between Finn and Sam. Both, all the drivers in the top 4 didn't pit yet, so P-Rods is still our leader after all the pit stops. Can Finn get close enough to Sam? I don't think he will. It's a little bit too far. Maybe if he gets a good exit on the last straight here. On the finish line straight, of course. Maybe he can do something then. It seems like Sam gets the better exit of it. This is the closest battle on track at the moment, while P-Rods gets a new fast lap, 1:30.5 on the mediums. And at this point, you can say P-Routers, if everything just goes well for him, he will win this race. Well, it is very close to Zach now. He is trying to do it, but he had to back off because otherwise they will both have been crashed, I think. Don't know if that was 100% fair of Zachart. I saw it a little too late. But it seemed like Midnight was pushed into a position where he couldn't do anything than just letting Zachart passing by again. So, or it was very good defending of Zach, or it was a little bit too much. But I'm not the steward, of course, so if there was something wrong, Midnight will pass it on to the steward and say to him, hey, this was illegal. We can't do anything about that. While Raikkonen now is the closest man on track to pass. He's trying to get to P3 at the moment. He is trying to make a move on Finn. Get pushed a little wide, there's a little bit of contact. And he is pushing himself into P3. There was a little bit of contact between Raikkonen and Finn there. That was a very close battle while Midnight finally gets in front of Zachart. And Zachart loses it! That's race over for Zachart with a lot of penalties now. And also Spawn on track. Stuff block his race, and he left the session. He retired on track. That sucks a little bit for the other drivers, so they will have a ghost now. That's not what we expect from our SFR races, the racers of course. If you want to leave, you have to go into the pits and the pit stop and then retire your car. But now we have a ghost on track, and that's not very good for the other drivers. So maybe there will be a complaint about that. But we'll see that all after the race again. Midnight now 6.4 seconds between P-Routers. Thus he has the pace to still overtake him or still get close enough to him. And where will our top 4 at the moment pit? Because they're all on 14 lap old mediums. I think they will go like around lap 17, lap 18 at least. Because then you have a 9 lap soft tire and then you can make a difference still. I'm just going to look what's the gap to the leader is at the moment. So Gio will be a little bit, the places between Gio and Bullet Boy will be very close while Raikkonen and Sam gets in a battle. And now Flynn gets into P3 and Raikkonen was pushed a little bit wide there. I think he will be complaining about that. That was a really close battle again. Lofodo gets a 5-second penalty for exceeding track limits.
And I'm back, sorry about that.
And you are back. And you missed something.
No, I didn't miss it because I had a stream on my phone.
Oh. That was not very good from Zach, was it?
No, it wasn't. That's kind of the first rule of SFR. Don't retire, or don't leave the session while you're on track.
Because now it's very frustrating for the other drivers. Luckily, he is already in the back of the grid.
Yeah.
While Medium Pilot gets in front of Chain Game. What did there happen? Something?
There was a short yellow flag. I'm not sure why.
I think they're having something with Chain Game. Maybe he lost his car because he's also 3 seconds behind Medium Pilot already. So I think that has to be something with that. But yeah, Zach was doing a very good job till he made a mistake and then he left. So that's not really what we expect. Now Bullet Boy in the pits. What will the other 3 drivers do? Well, Bullet Boy gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. No! And
Raikkonen stays out for another lap.
Take the lead then on this race. P-Rogers in P2 at the moment. But that really sucks for Bullet Boy. 5-second penalty, that is very much for him. Midnight still holding the same gap to P-Rogers. 6.4 seconds. So Midnight does have a really good pace, but it's not good enough to get really close to P-Rogers. P-Rogers now only 1 second behind Raikkonen. Raikkonen does have to pit.
Let's see now if Bullet Boy can catch up to Midnight.
It should be possible. Because the other guys are all around 7-lap old mediums. Bullet Boy only 4.6 seconds behind Midnight, so I think a podium is possible for Bullet Boy.
Yeah, for sure.
It should be possible. But it will be a podium, of course, because Raikkonen still needs to pit. So Bullet Boy will race in P3 then. Gio still has a little possibility, but he has to go faster than on all mediums than Bullet Boy. So that will be a very difficult task for him. Now Raikkonen goes into pits, and now we are watching to the leader of this race, P-Rogers. Well, Raikkonen gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Medium Pilot now coming close to Sam. What can he still do in this race? A 3-second time penalty, that's what he can do. Now he's trying to overtake Sam, but he is too far away, I think. He is very much faster, but he was a little bit too far away. Well, he gets very close then to the back of Sam. But now Vin is on fresh tires behind Medium Pilot. So what will Williams say? Because of course Medium Pilot is still contending for a championship win. He does need the points. But
he
Vin
does,
is
yeah.
on fresh tires and has Raikkonen behind him. So what will happen there? Ooh. I wouldn't be... Oh, he is letting him through. Wow. That's team play.
Oh, he lost out to Raikkonen as well.
Yeah, he just let Raikkonen and Vin through. That's unbelievable. Or does he has another problem? It's also possible, of course, that he is going to retire his car. We don't hope that, of course, but I think he also saw that it wasn't possible to keep them behind.
We might see fastest lap of the race here from Bullet Boy. We do.
He does, at 1:30.2 on the soft tires.
He gained 1.2 seconds on Midnight that lap.
Bullet Boy still have the possibilities to get on the P2 of this race. While Raikkonen now gets to the back of Vin. Down the outside, can he go in front? Yes, he will. And now we have it the other way around. Vin in front of Medium Pilot. If it stays that way till the last lap, you should expect that Vin lets through Medium Pilot.
Yeah.
Because Medium Pilot needs all the points he can get. P-Rogers will get 25 points, maybe 26, if he still can take the fastest lap. That's
I don't think he can.
Possible. He will get 25 points, so he will get in front with a lot of points after this race. If he stays in the lead, of course. Still anything can happen.
So before the race there were 4 points separating them.
There were 4 points behind him.
Medium Pilot leading by 4, so that's 21 points swing to P. Waters. That's a big gap. And three,
That's a big
four,
gap.
was 4 races left?
But 4 races left here.
Raikkonen trying to make a move on Sem.
Raikkonen is going very fast. He took Finn last lap. He is going to the fastest lap, a 1:29.9. Now he is going to try and overtake Sam. Very good move of Raikkonen. Sam goes a little bit wide, and what a move of Raikkonen, but it's not done yet. The McLaren of Sam is defending him.
Brilliant racing between the two of them.
Today. What a good battle we are watching at the moment between Sam and Raikkonen, one of the most great drivers at the grid, I think. Their fights are so good, both of them, and they're always legal. Now he's very close again. This is not really an overtaking opportunity. He will try it at the outside, and there's contact. Sam is pushing him very wide now, but this is so close racing. Still next to each other. Someone will have to give it. Sam isn't gonna do that. What a fight we are watching here from the McLaren of Sam and the Mercedes of Raikkonen.
Here he goes.
Raikkonen is going yet again. And I think that will be the move. Raikkonen just has to
the outside, wow.
Very good move of Raikkonen, but what a fight it was between them both. And now
Let's see if Sam can get back again.
Or can Sam goes again on Raikkonen, he's going to try it. That is so close racing, pushed out of the check hole, gets a penalty for that. I don't think he will get to that with the Stewart, of course he will. And there's contact now between him and Vin. But he has been pushed wide by Raikkonen and then he got a penalty. So that will be something to speak about while Vin is still trying to get in front of him as Sam crashed.
Oh!
He crashed. It was too much for him, too much pressure. Oh, he was doing such an amazing race again. And then he was struggling so much after the penalty in the first sector, and he lost his car. I think he possibly could cry at the moment.
Yeah, that's completely possible, if I'm honest.
He was doing such a good job, good fights with Raikkonen. Then he gets a penalty for going too wide, pushed too wide, if you look to my opinion. And now he doesn't have any front wing left. So he will be back in P11 after he pits. That's very sad for the McLaren driver.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Well, he still is defending, and it will be difficult now to go into the pit. Oh no, it won't be. I thought he still was on the inside of Storm. That's really unlucky. Well, Bullet Boy now is only 1.6 behind Midnight. I think he's closing around 5/10 a lap. Oh, Midnight.
Yeah, he is.
But when are those tires gonna fall away? It's 5 lap old soft tires to 12 lap old mediums.
With 6 laps to go.
I think we'll get an amazing fight there. Well, Medium Pirates is also only 7/10 behind Vin.
On lap 25, I want people to write in the comments who their driver of the day is.
Of course, we're gonna do a driver of the day today. And I think there are a lot of contenders for that today.
Yeah, for sure. Bullet Boy being one of them.
Yeah. Midnight also doing a good job. Raikkonen is doing an amazing job, if you ask me.
Yeah, he started at the back, didn't he?
I'm gonna look on what he started. Yeah, he started from P17, now he's driving P5. So that's very well done for him. I think my driver of the day is Raikkonen, to be honest. He did such an amazing job. Amazing fights. Maybe a little bit too much with Sam, but that will be investigated after the race, of course. Well, Bullet Boy now gets a 3-second penalty, and that won't make it any easier, because he also had a 5-second penalty in the pit lane. I think Bullet Boy is gonna have it difficult to overtake Midnight and then hold it on penalties.
Yeah, I agree.
And what is Vin going to do with Medium Pilot, his teammate behind, still needing every point in the championship? Because P. Wouters will take over the lead with a lot of points. I think one of the biggest gap of the last races, around 20 points gap between them. If P. Wouters can do what he did the last races, then always stay in the podium position, I think he almost has it then. But of course, anything can happen. We started today, Medium Pilot leading the race, taking pole position, and one mistake, and it was all done.
Yeah, such a shame for him.
It was a shame. And what do we think of Gio again? Crashed in
Yeah,
lap one.
Gio. I mean, Gio has made a great comeback to up
He
to
did.
P4 again,
He
of being
always
last.
Oh, Vin has led by Medium Pilot, or Medium Pilot has overtook him, I don't know, but I saw Medium Pilot is now in P6 and Vin in P7. So possibly Vin has led him through.
Yep, good team play there from the Williams
Do you
boys.
think Medium Pilot still can have the pace to take Raikkonen while Sam goes fastest at the moment? Of course he pitted again.
Yeah, it is some 2-lap old soft, so
He has to
to be expected.
close 15 seconds in 3
Yeah.
laps if he wants to
Yeah,
point
that seems
extra,
unlikely.
So that or there have to happen something with Folio, but I think that's impossible any other way around.
Quite a bit
Just
of
gonna
gaps everywhere.
Well, Bullet Boy is in the standings. Because I don't really remember it, to be honest.
So it's lap 25, guys. Please tell us your driver of the day. We want to know. Bullet Boy now 1.1, oh, less than 1.1
And that's
seconds
Zach
behind
now.
me.
Yeah. Zach has his computer. It has to be annoying for the other drivers, of course.
Yeah, he'll receive a qualifying ban for that, I'm
He
sure.
will.
If he returns this far, that is.
Oh, Midnight is in P8 of the championship. I thought he was P3, but Nolan is P3.
Oh, Nolan isn't even here.
No, he isn't. But that's a very good result on for Midnight.
Yeah,
And Bullet Boy is in P12, only took 37 points at the whole season. I think he also joined afterwards, around the mid-season. That's, for both of them, it's a great result. But
yeah,
if I
for
can
sure.
level at the moment, Bullet Boy has a lot of penalties. If Gio doesn't have any, he still could be on the podium today. That's the worst case scenario for Bullet Boy while we're going into the 1x final lap. Lap 26 of 27.
So as of right now, I think Bullet Boy should be fine. He has 8 seconds. Gio has 3.
So that's 5 seconds, so Gio needs to get 2 seconds closer if he wants the podium.
Yeah.
I don't think that will happen. And we're seeing Bullet Boy really trying to finish P2 on track. He will be P3, whatever happens. Or it has to be midnight crashes.
Yeah.
Well, Sam gets another pit stop. Don't know what happened there.
Maybe to retire, I guess.
That's a possibility. It's not for the fastest lap because it won't count the extra point because he's out of the top 10.
Yeah, he's had another pit stop. That's interesting.
Just another pit stop. Nothing real.
P Waters is about.
Bullet Boy 8 tenths behind Midnight, and that's it. Be on the podium. Bullet Boy lost his car into the final corner, final chicane.
Oh no!
What a shame for Bullet Boy. I think that was going to be his first ever podium, but and then he lost it into the last corner. What a shame for Bullet Boy. And Gio will take a podium then, after he crashed into the first lap. That's very good then for Gio, but of course it is unbelievably unlucky for Bullet Boy. He was doing such an amazing job today. It's a bit the same story like Sam.
Yeah, it is.
Sam also had to pit stop and that stuff, so... But Gio
Driver of the day is
then.
Gio, says Oscar in the comments. Oscar, my guy.
It will
Always
be the
there.
podium finisher then, Gio. But now we're looking to P. Wouters on the final straight of his race. He did what he had to do. Set the pressure on Medium Pilot. Medium Pilot who has spun, who has crashed. And then he just drove it home. P. Wouters wins the GP of Japan and takes over the championship lead. P. Wouters, our German driver, wins Japan. And Midnight will take a podium. He will take P2. Very well done to him too. And it is Gio who will be finishing on track P4 but will be P3 after penalties. And Bullet Boy in P4.
P5 even. Medium Pilot goes to P4.
Pilot goes to P4. That's luckily for him then. Raikkonen goes P7 after penalties. Finn is P6. So it will be still okay then. The points difference between P1 and Medium Pilot.
Yeah, so he loses
13 points, I think.
13 points, yeah, so
So
he's
it will be
9
9
points
points.
behind.
9 points behind P. Wouters for the next 4 races. That's still everything possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
But our podium for today is P. Wouters, Midnight and Gio. Very well done to those guys. And Sam is now the last one to still finish his race. What has been a very unlucky race for him.
Yeah, for sure, I agree.
No
Totally.
McLaren driver. His teammate in P1, he himself in P11. And that was it for the GP of Japan then. 27 laps of joy, I think. A win of P. Wouters. P. Wouters' second win in a row. Maybe his third, I don't know that. It's McLaren on 1, Alfa Romeo on 2, and Haas on 3. I do think they want to see that in real life again. Haas on P3.
Yeah,
And I don't think it will happen very soon. There is the champagne, and then we're going to the final grid before anything investigated, of course. Things still can change. It is P. Wouters on P1, Midnight P2, Gio P3, Medium Pilot P4, Bullet Boy P5, Vin P6, Raikkonen P7, Chain Game P8, Storm P9, Frodio P10, Sam P11, Zach P12. Then the guys who didn't finish this race were Chris, Big Virgil, James, Gasly and Ryan van Doorn. We'll now invite the top 3 into our party to take the interviews and see if someone wants to do that. Sorry for the screen going blue. I do know the song, of course.
Yeah, okay, good.
I'm not a baby anymore. Fuck's sake. So hopefully one of the podium drivers will join us for any interview. I did invite him. I only need the PSN of Jill because the game already kicked me. Jill_4, thank you very much. So all our podium drivers are invited now. What a race it was. I think you're more awake now than you started.
I am, yes, but I'm still almost asleep, so I think that tells you how tired I am.
I think that does. A very good race again, and again the McLaren of P. Wouters won it. And again it was due to a mistake by Medium Pilot.
Yeah.
Second race in a row. Last week it was because of a bad strategy, because a lot of safety cars. And now it was a mistake on track. If he doesn't win the championship, I think he will be very frustrated on himself.
Yeah.
Because he had the opportunities to win 2 races and made a mistake. But P. Wouters is of course a very good driver. And a very good podium again, I think. Very unlucky for Bullet Boy. That's also racing sports.
Yeah,
Penalties are involved.
Yeah, shame for him.
It is. I don't think any of the podium drivers is attending to give an interview. So it will be the end of today's stream then. That was also the last one of Japan. Of course, the GP4 race of Japan will be raced at the end of the season. I don't know if there will be a live stream. I think it will be recorded because it will be raced at the same time of the GP3 race. But next week it is. What race it is next week?
It's Mexico.
Mexico. Are you looking forward to them?
It's the understeeriest track on all the calendar, so no, not really.
It is also with a very long straight, of course.
Yeah.
But that is for next week, with on Monday GP4, Tuesday GP3, and Wednesday GP2, and on Thursday next week we're back again in GP1. I want to thank you for watching today's stream. I want to thank my co-commentator Felix.
Yeah, thanks for having me, mate. Fun as always.
Again. It was very much fun. And then I'm going to say very much thanks to be watching, and we'll see you next week. Have a good weekend, guys.